With her, with lots of people that knew her. Go ahead.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure it's not lost on anyone that Rick's wearing pinstripes. We saw it. We came in. My name is Maribeth Borsari. I am Maribeth's nephew. It's fitting, you're right, that today we're doing this on opening day. There are three things that my aunt loved in her life. It was her family, it was work, and it was the Red Sox. And it was not in that order. So it's a wonderful opportunity to actually be here with what we would consider her family. On the day that she was diagnosed, it was a very, very long day. A lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of meetings with people, a lot of in and out of offices, a lot of information to take in. But she was very tired by the end of that day. Probably 12 hours, 13 hours. A lot of hard information. And at the end of it, my sisters noticed that she was crying. So they went to comfort her. My aunt stopped and she said, "I'm not crying because of my diagnosis today. I am crying because I am amazed at how many people care and love her." Throughout the day, every single channel of communication was taken up. Phone calls, emails, text messages, people showing up. It was overwhelming. And it's easy somewhat to remember, certainly in the first few days, first couple of weeks, that someone that you love is ill. So you continue to call, you continue to show up. And then life takes over. You get back into the things that you do. You got to pick up the kids, you got to make dinner, you got to get that work done, you put your head back down into the things that are really right in front of you. But you all did not. You all kept her engaged. You all kept calling, kept showing up. You kept going to her house and picking her up and taking her out. You brought her to the meetings. As simple as CCing her on an email. Let her know that you were remembering her, you were including her, and that you loved her. You gave her the strength. You put your arms around her to get her out of bed every day. She loved her work. She loved you. And you showed it right back to her. People often say that when the hard decisions are made and you've lived through the trials of your life, those who are left standing around you, when all the dust is cleared, those are the ones that truly love you. And they represent the best of who you are. I speak for myself, I'm sure for my sisters and my family, that we are extremely proud to be here with the best of who made up my life. So thank you. Thank you for dedicating this room, for this day, for sharing it with us. Thank you for the commitment you make to your state, to your country, to your communities, because that is certainly not lost on any of us. And thank you for the love and care that you gave my aunt. You treated her like family, and that means more to us than you'll ever know. So while I had the podium for just one little second, I am going to say this. Being a Red Sox fan, I'm going to put it right back on. Today, if you can, try and take a moment. Given that it's opening day, it's the 100th anniversary of the most beautiful, imperfect diamond in the world. Our temple, our Mecca, our church. Take a moment, close your eyes, and try to imagine on that beautiful emerald green field the hush of the crowd coming over the ground. Imagine Maribeth throwing up the first pitch. Go Sox.
Anybody else?
You don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Help me. If my brother were here, my brother Butch, he could do a fitting job of eulogizing my sister, and I won't even try. You gotta know Butch to know what I mean. At any rate, there's 11 years between. By the way, I'm the middle brother. I'm Peter. There are 11 years between my sister Maribeth and me. My birthday is in the middle of September. Maribeth's birthday is in the middle of August. I'll never forget sitting in the back seat of the car, mother driving, going down the center lane. My Aunt Ike in the front. My mother very pregnant. Me being 11, 10 still then. Not knowing why my mother was getting very fat. My Aunt Ike was given the job of kind of informing me that I was about to have either a brother or a sister. And I remember, for my birthday, all I wanted was a puppy. My Aunt Ike turning, saying, you gotta know, Ike, wouldn't it be so sweet and so nice if you had a little baby brother or sister? And I said, when? She said, maybe for your birthday. I said, no, I want a puppy. Now, she came early, in August, but I got the puppy. Being the middle brother of a guy who was just my hero, and of a sister who was just so full of hell and love all at the same time, was a difficult thing. But I had the pleasure really of sitting back a lot and kind of watching what was going on. I watched my brother do wonderful things. And I watched my sister also do wonderful things. And I would go from being proud to prouder. And proudest. My friend, she's here. I don't know how to tell you, she's here. And I thank you also. By the way, our relationship is very best in my relationship. You know, think of the hurricanes. And the kids will tell you. Think of hurricanes. They go in and beyond Hurricane Bob. But anyway, one of the things that I'll just do two things. First thing, and I think the thing that was most impressive to me, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. Maribeth never, ever, after being diagnosed, going through absolute living hell, never said why me. Never, ever once said why me. And I'm convinced that she did that. She must have felt why me. I don't see how you can go through something like that without feeling. But she did that for us. That was a gift from America to us. Secondly, my mother 97 years old. My mother, you know, she's a certificate nurse, and she drives them nuts. My mother's an avid sports fan, right? Well, my mother stays up all night long, and she watches sports all night long, but she's on her own schedule. She may have breakfast at 11 o'clock in the morning, and if they don't bring us the right thing, she sends them back. She may have lunch at 3 in the afternoon when everybody else is supposed to be taking a nap. There's always sports on. She can't wait for baseball to start. I get a call from her every day. March Madness? Every night. Sometimes 3-4 times a night. My mother would come. But you know, my mother said, the day that Maribeth passed, we didn't quite know. Tough time, you know, how do you go tell somebody 97 years old that your baby daughter? And I went over, and sitting there on the bed with her, and I'm trying to think, I said to myself, there's just no way that you can do this and it's going to be gentle. You know, sometimes when it's crude and rude, there ain't no other way. You just have to tell folks. And she knew. She told me. She said, Maribeth just passed away. And I said, that's right. She knew that's why I was there. I said, and you know, she said to me, she said, I've had Maribeth for the past 15 years. My father died 15 years. She says, I've had Maribeth for the past 15 years. She says, now Dad has her. And you know, that's true. That's absolutely true. You know, they're up there. They don't watch the ball game. Depending upon how it turns out, there could be some pretty good language up there. anyway, that's all. You know, really, thank you all very, very much. Mike is absolutely right. Her family is here today, and that meant so much to her. By the way, it means so much to her family. So thank you very, very much. I'm so pleased with what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I just want to know, is your mom still liking Max on Dancing with the Stars? We always heard about Max, and your mother all geared up about Max, like when he took his shirt off. Any other comments? Anybody else? Okay, Ellen? Director ended up hooking me up with the photographer that prepared this portrait. His name is Sandy Middlebrooks. You can get reproductions of the portrait if people are interested. So if anybody is interested, they want to contact me at OCP. I have a couple of his business cards, but if anybody's interested, I just want to let you know. Let's play ball upstairs.